kids with ear infections. Do you see? So what you have to understand is antibiotics, they attack everything. So now you start using your dial soaps, the antibacterial soaps. Is that good or bad? It's going to kill the good bacteria or the bad bacteria, but guess what? It's also going to kill the good bacteria. So all you people that are taking their hand sanitizer, here, honey, we got to put these on our kids and everything. Listen, you're killing your kids by putting this antibacterial. Not to mention, there's a lot of alcohol and stuff. They were saying people were dying because they were drinking this stuff. And then you go and eat, and you got this alcohol stuff all over, and it's getting all over your food. And so, no more hand sanitizers, okay? You can wash your hands before you eat, but don't use antibacterial soap, and don't be using your hand sanitizers. Throw them away. And so if I keep, here's a quick analogy. If I keep a child in a bubble their whole life, and then we finally decide to bring that child out of the bubble, what's going to happen to this child? They're not going to have an immunity, and then they die. Do you guys understand that? And so you want your kids to be around other kids. You want their kids to be around germs. You want your kids to get sniffles. You want your kids to get these things, because then they're developing this immunity that we were talking about. Do you guys understand that? It only makes sense, right? I don't know why I'm the first one telling you. I mean, you guys think about it. It only makes sense. But we're so scared. Why? Because the media is telling us, you better do this, you better do this. And I mean, then you guys are doubting. That's why you guys need to be here. My patients need to be plugged in here, because you guys are the warriors of the community. Everyone besides you, well, you guys still thought this today. So now you're going to go out and you're going to spread this message. Do not keep it to yourself. Okay? So you guys are going to just continue to do this. Yes, Mom. For the kids to get, okay. So number one is, she's been under care for about 3 weeks, okay? Your kids aren't going to be getting sick this year, okay? They're not going to be getting sick nearly as much as they used to, okay? First off, it's not sick, it's health. They're expressing health, okay? I feel sick. Most people say I'm sick. I'm expressing health. So the body's doing what it needs to do, okay? So we got to get that term correct, all right? Because when they're going through those things, okay. Okay. So what do we do at that point? Okay. Number one, I want you to refer back to all of this. Okay. You want to avoid your sugars. You want to make sure you're doing your, you get that blood circulating a little bit. You do your vitamin C, vitamin D. You avoid your stresses. You get plenty of sleep. And the adjustment. Now we're going to go through the adjustments, but the adjustment's going to be absolutely huge for you. You just get adjusted. You make sure you stay free of interference. You make sure you're not bombarding your immune system with your sugars. And your kids are going to be able to get over this like this. Okay? So it's going to be a lot easier for you this year. But of course, before you're like, oh, I got all these kids. I need to make sure that they're getting sleep. So then what do you do normally?
Well, I have a medicine cabinet with like 4 bottles of Tylenol.
Okay, yeah. Okay, so, and then the question begs it, with your kids doing that, how have they been? Have they been sick or have they been healthy? They've been pretty much sick their entire lives, correct? They slept through the night. So what we're going to do is, okay, so that, I mean, don't worry about it, and we're not yelling at you. We're all learning from this is, your kids, we've seen your kids' x-rays, their immune systems are nowhere near where they need to be, so we're going to get in there, and they're going to be completely different this year. And then now it's your job to start spreading the stories, because everyone's kids who come here, they don't get sick the next year. We just had another kid put in his allergy medication. He's done. He hasn't had it at all. Yeah. Okay. So, yeah. Don't worry about that. We're not going to do it anymore. Probiotics. Now, we're going to go through probiotics. Yep. Probiotics is absolutely huge. So, for those of us who have already taken an antibiotic, it's killed the bad bacteria. We need to replenish it with probiotics. Okay? You guys got that? So, you're going to go through. Now, probiotics, this isn't something that you're going to stay on for your lifetime. This is going to be something that you're going to mega dose. You're going to do your probiotic for about 4 or 6 weeks, and then you'll get off, and then you'll get on, and you'll get off about 4 times a year. Okay? The garlic pills are good, but obviously cloves are better, but yeah, garlic, if you have to supplement it, most of us don't get enough of it anyways. And so if you do get sick, you're going to have to get your flu adjustments. Do you guys understand? We're going to have that sign out there. Get your flu adjustments here. Because the minute you get adjusted, your immune system boosts 48%. So on they've studied AIDS patients. They check their blood before the adjustment. They check the blood after the adjustment immediately, and then they check the blood 2 hours post-adjustment. And the people 2 hours post-adjustment had a 200 times greater immunity than a person who has never been adjusted, okay, or that person that before the adjustment. So I mean, this isn't my research. This has all been proven. We have the research to prove this. You call Dr. Kevin. All right, look it. I am so confident. This is my cell phone number. This is my email address. If you guys need me, you call me, okay? I will come to your house. We'll get an adjustment if you need that, whatever it takes. I know that you guys aren't going to be getting it this year. Last year I was in the other office. We were seeing 1,500 patients a week. We saw 2 flus. 1,500 patients a week. So imagine the flu season's what? Like 12 weeks long? 12 weeks long. Do the math, 12 times 1,500. I mean, we were seeing 15,000 people in that time. We saw 2 flus. And those were the ones who had just started. So you guys have to understand, it doesn't happen. So you just get adjusted more often. So when this thing's going to start to hit come October, you're going to be hearing it from all over. You call Dr. Kevin. You send me all of your questions. I'll send you the research. We get you adjusted. You make sure you have the vitamin C and the vitamin D in the cabinet. You make sure you have that, the probiotics. You're getting your exercise. You don't have anything to worry about. Someone needs to come over to your houses and just wipe out your pantry. Because all of your sugars and everything that's in there is just bombarding your immune system. And then you wonder why your kids keep getting sick.
What are probiotics?
Probiotics you get at the local food, the health food store. It's good replacing the good bacteria in your body. So most people have taken antibiotics and stuff, so they need that. And so,
Question about the vitamin D.
yes. What's the best source of vitamin D, everybody? The sun. Very good.
Okay, but if it's not here, what do we do?
We have the vitamin D simplex up front.
Yeah, but if they have supplement, I know there's one form that's out on the market that provides can't.
Right, we use the D3, vitamin D3. So you guys can see that on your way out. We ordered some just for this talk because we knew everyone would want it. Vitamin D is, it's proven. Everything is in the research. Vitamin D is, just Google search vitamin D in the flu. That's what you need. You won't have to worry about anything. You just use vitamin D, you get adjusted, and you're good. And so what does the chiropractic adjustment do? It increases your interleukin-2, which is your immunity. The chiropractic increases your respiratory bursts of white blood cells. Chiropractic increases your CD4 cells, which is your healing cells. Patients have 200 times stronger immune system than patients that don't get adjusted. And so this is in Davenport, Iowa. So this is where chiropractic was happening. Back in 1914, this is about the Spanish flu, so this is awesome that they've actually researched this. Medical doctors treated 93,000 patients, 6,000 of them died, okay? A loss of 1 patient every 15. Chiropractors at Palmer at the school adjusted 1,600 cases and only 1 death. So outside of Davenport, chiropractors in Iowa cared for 4,000 and 6 deaths. So 1 out of 866. So they've already done the research on chiropractic adjustments during a flu season. These are all people with the flu. And so, in Oklahoma, we can go on and on and on. We have furthermore, chiropractors were called in 233 cases given up as lost medical treatment and reported saved all but 25. So that basically what it's showing is every single time we get in there and we clear your nerve system, the body works better. Now, is it the chiropractors that are saving the lives? No. The body's now working better. God's doing the healing in these people better, and their bodies are expressing health on a stronger immune system. So, it's literally that simple, because for those of you who don't know what I'm talking about, I can kind of explain it to you. This is the nerve system. So those of you who aren't patients, this is the most important system of your entire body, and yet your doctors have never once checked it. So when you were created, the very first thing, when those 2 cells formed, came together, the very first thing that formed was your brain, From your brain stemmed this amazing spinal cord, and from your spinal cord came these nerves. And it wasn't until the brain, spinal cord, and the nerves were formed that your organs began to function, that your organs actually began to form. So now here's your brain. It starts